The water shimmered gently in the sun as it danced across the soft sand below. In a bright blue corner of the ocean, two best friends were ready to play. One was a wide, gentle stingray named Stella. She had smooth gray wings and tiny white spots like bubbles across her back. Stella loved to glide slowly through the water, like a soft underwater kite. Her best friend was a tiny seahorse named Bloop. He was bright yellow and curled his tail like a little spiral when he got excited. Bloop was curious and quick and loved to peek around seaweed and coral. Today they were meeting near the coral reef to play their favorite game. "Let's play hide and seek," thought Bloop, twirling happily in the water. Stella flapped her wings gently. "Okay, you hide first," she said, with a slow, happy swirl. Bloop zipped away with a giggle. He darted behind a tall waving plant, then curled around a bubble rock, then wiggled behind a clump of coral. He finally found a perfect hiding spot, a cluster of purple sea fans that matched his little, yellow shape just enough to blend in. Stella closed her eyes and counted slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She opened her eyes and began gliding through the reef. Where could Bloop be? She wondered. She floated past the bubble rock. No Bloop. She peeked under the seaweed bed. Not there. Then she slowly curved around the coral and found you, she beamed. Bloop laughed and twirled. You're good at finding, he thought. Now it was Stella's turn to hide. She thought. I'm not as small as Bloop, but I can be clever. She flapped slowly toward a large, soft sand patch and gently lay flat, covering herself with a little cloud of sand. Only the tips of her wings peeked out, just barely. Bloop counted quickly, bouncing as he did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he zipped off to look. He swam in and out of rocks. He checked behind shells. He even peeked inside a hollow clam shell. No Stella. Where is she? He thought, spinning in little circles. Then he spotted something, a soft movement in the sand. He got closer, closer. Boo! Stella popped out and flapped her wings with a giggle. Bloop squealed in surprise and joy. They both laughed and floated gently through the water. Let's play again, said Bloop. But let's go to the big drift cave. It's perfect for hiding. Stella agreed. Together they swam slowly to a spot where soft currents rolled between tall coral towers and made bubbles dance like tiny jellyfish. The drift cave wasn't really a cave. It was a winding path between coral walls that let the water drift in and out gently. Fish liked to nap there. Bloop liked to hide there. I'll hide first again, said Bloop, and he zipped into the maze. Stella waited, drifting slowly and humming softly to herself. But inside the coral maze, Bloop got a little too excited. He zipped right, then left, then down a tunnel of swaying grass. Oh, he gasped, I don't remember this part. He spun around, but every turn looked the same. This coral is so twisty, he thought. Where's the way back to Stella? Bloop wasn't scared, yet. But he did feel a little flutter in his tummy. He curled his tail and sat very still. I think I'm lost. Stella opened her eyes. Bloop should have popped out by now, she thought gently. She flapped her wings and floated toward the coral maze. Bloop, she called softly. Are you hiding, or are you hiding too well? She peeked into the coral paths, taking slow turns. She didn't rush. Stella was never fast, but she was calm and careful. Bloop, she called again, floating past a sea sponge and a sleepy crab. No sign of her little friend. Then she paused, very still. The water was quiet. Then, bloop! A tiny bubble popped to the surface, and another. Wait, she thought. That's not a crab or a fish. That's a bloop bubble. She gently followed the trail of bubbles. The water narrowed and curved. At the end of the path, curled in a little ball, was her tiny seahorse friend. Bloop, she thought with a smile. There you are. Bloop uncurled and blinked. Stella, I got lost. I know, Stella said kindly. Let's go home. Together they floated out of the coral maze. The water grew wider, and the sunbeams sparkled again. Bloop swirled happily. Thank you, Stella, he thought. You always find me, even when I didn't mean to hide. Stella flapped slowly. You always find the best hiding spots, even when they're a little too good, she giggled. They floated to their favorite resting rock and sat quietly, a little tired, a little happy, a little wiser. After a while, Bloop turned slowly and looked at Stella with a sparkle in his eye. Want to play one more round? Stella smiled. Okay, but I'm hiding in a spot that no one will expect. Bloop giggled. We'll see about that. The two friends zipped and glided off, ready to play again. Because under the sea, with a stingray and a seahorse, every game of hide and seek was full of fun, friendship, and maybe a little surprise. As the water swayed gently and a school of fish swirled by, the two friends vanished behind a coral wall, laughing and playing. But don't worry, they always find each other, and they'll be back, ready to hide again.